Hey everyone, welcome to another video. I just want to do a quick one for new Jedi, and offer just some random thoughts. Kind of came up today. First of all, welcome to the Jedi community and to the idea of living your life as a Jedi. It's an interesting one. It's a good one. It definitely has benefits. It has its fun too, because it's a little silly. We are calling ourselves something that it was inspired by a movie. But it takes obviously nothing away from what we do and how we live, right? Patience isn't any less real because we were inspired by Obi-Wan Kenobi, or asking physical fitness and meditation aren't any less beneficial because we saw Luke Skywalker doing it on Dagobah. Most people are pretty well aware that George Lucas drew from many areas of inspiration himself, and things that he wanted to create and stories he wanted to tell. And so he took that, combined it together, and came up with something new. And we've taken that and also, in a way, created something new, or at least something much more tangible. And you probably have some idea of that because you are here, right? And you are watching this. I'm assuming, who knows who's watching this, but maybe myself in a couple years or something, where I'll just shake my head like, really, man, what were you doing making videos like this? Anyways, point being that when you come into the community, there's history. There's people who've been doing it a while. There's people who carry pretty fancy titles. We have a full-on lecture series here in this playlist that covers. We called it "May the Internet Be With You," or at least I started calling that at first. I think I just kind of dropped that towards the end, but it covers kind of how the community got started and some of the sites and ways we explored that. So I do value history. I do think it has a purpose, but mostly in the Jedi community, especially in our early years and kind of things that have happened even not too long ago, are lessons of more of what not to do, like how to grow from that and how to use that to be better. The thing, and that's the thing, right, is that they're meant to be lessons, and they're meant to be stepping stones for you, the new generation of Jedi, right? The way a community grows is not by keeping the same people. Nothing lasts forever. I'm not gonna live to be 900 years old, so I can't stick around and ensure that the community continues to grow, right? What you do in all communities is you pass it on, and that requires each generation to kind of continue to pick up the torch and continue forward. And if they deem it necessary, if they deem it worthwhile, it also gives the chance for new insights and new ideas to be tried out. But again, it's important to learn from history. Don't reinvent the wheel. Don't go down wrong turns or repeat mistakes that we've already gone through that you can easily. This isn't to say you can't try some of the things that we tried and failed at, such as site mergers or things like that. You can certainly try that, but learn from history first. See where they went wrong. See what problems they experienced, how they sought to deal with them, and that way you can kind of come up with solutions beforehand. But I'm getting off on all that, off the topic there. So the main thing I wanted to say is that, look, don't worry about relics such as myself, right? Yeah, I've been doing this a while, and yeah, I was kind of there in the beginning. I wasn't a founder, I wasn't a leader. I was just like you, when I first started out, I was wide-eyed. I was like, this is awesome, and yeah, and there were people that were already doing things, that had already created things, and were already pushing the path forward that that I looked up to and that I respected. But I kind of placed heavy burdens on them by that. You know, I had unrealistic expectations. Not saying you do, because I am pretty awesome, so I can handle your expectations. Probably not. Don't do that. Don't do that. But there were people that I did look to, and eventually they did leave the community. You know, eventually some left the path, some just left the community, and it fell to individuals and myself, the next generation, to kind of pick up and continue forward, and we did so. And we have created some great things, and we are at a better place than where we were. It's always been a continual growth. We haven't regressed much. Certain communities have regressed. Sometimes you'll see, and one of the things I want to talk, is discourage, I guess, is don't go opening up a new site and when you haven't learned from history, right? When you haven't been there or you don't know it, because you will regress. You'll start your community off 10 years behind everybody else, and you don't want to do that, because it hinders and hurts your own members, your new members, the people that you will engage with, the next generation of Jedi. And those are the people you really want to keep in mind. Yeah, you're going to be great. You're going to be a Jedi, so handle your business, right? Get your training in, follow your practices, study, and when you become a Knight, you're going to be responsible for that next generation of Jedi. And in that, respect what you're passing on, so that it can continue to build on. I know it's kind of far away, but it's something that I feel needs to be said. Don't worry about what the people who have a limited shelf life, don't worry too much about them, okay? There might be some of the people proclaiming themselves master or founder or whatever, but their time's already, they've used up a lot of it. Their time's already been used up, and they might not be what you feel that title should be. Use it as a lesson, okay? Use it as that lesson of what not to do and what not to be. But yeah, so take that and don't let the community or people, relics of the community, kind of shape what you believe the Jedi can be. When I first started out, I very much had an idea of what Jedi should be and what kind of standard they should be held to. Now that's evolved over the time, but the core is still the same. And it took a long time, but eventually I was able to get into that position where I could help enforce those standards. And now we have a community that in general, the majority has a pretty well-established training regimen, has a pretty well-established standard. And there is this core that all Jedi groups that are, and any of them that are worth their salt, they have a training program. There's this core that you're going to find that all sites explore. They'll explore them differently. They'll use different terminology. They'll have different lessons, obviously, but the core will be the same. You'll still have your 5 practices. It doesn't matter where you go. You're going to have those. You're going to have your 5 tenets. Doesn't matter where you go. You're going to have those. And if you're wondering what these are, you can check out our Jedi Circle video. Yay, promotional plug. Good job, Opie. Good job, man. All right, seriously though, but these things exist and they'll continue to exist. But eventually people are going to leave. Eventually, for a plethora of reasons as well. Don't just think it's like, oh, people get tired of being a Jedi. That's not it. There's people who aren't in the community who are going to be Jedi till they die. That's not a question. They found the path beneficial, positive, and worth living. But the community itself takes time. It's a dedication, right? It's something adjacent to the Jedi path. It is something that is specifically meant for helping communicate and train Jedi across the world. So for people who, like myself, are in kind of an instructor position, it's just a way for us to help continue to share our experiences, our lessons, and the things that we've gone through, our history, with other people who are interested in living the path. But the main thing is to focus on your path and to understand that you represent the Jedi path, that you represent yourself. Don't look to mimic older Jedi. You know, look to learn from them again. And if that means learning what not to do, excellent. Like, you can look at these videos and be like, I know not to put videos up with really crappy production value. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to wait till I have the resources to actually put together some nice videos with little opening credits and you know, little sounding. We're going to do some actual video editing, you know. Excellent. You know, learn what not to do, right? And that's really all I wanted to say. I just wanted to welcome anybody that's new. You know, I'm glad to have you a part of this journey and a part of this path. And don't worry about the relics. Don't worry about the dinosaurs, man. Yeah, learn from them, but they're not up here. Okay, we're dusty. We belong in the basement. So keep the Jedi Masters in the basement where they belong. Don't worry about them. You know, you can pull them out of the basement, dust them off when you need like advice or lessons or you know, just general history reminders. That's fine. But live the path. You know, the materials are out there. That's one of the great things. You're in this age where we've built this path, man. We have a great foundation. Jedi Circle, Jedi Code lessons are I don't even know how many there are. There's a bunch, but the lessons and the material available, you have so much available to you that you can really use and grow as a Jedi in your everyday life. You have these. When I started, did not. So we did make a lot of mistakes because of that to get to that point. So don't try to go backwards, right? It's about learning from the past, living in the present so you can build a better future. And that's what we want you to do. Okay? So welcome, rock it out, Jedi. I know you got it. That's really all I had to say. Yeah, no, that's it.